Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be going over the brand new Anastasia Beverly Hills and Amrezy palette. I got this beautiful box in the mail. So yes, this was sent to me in PR, but look at this. It is so pretty. It's just giving me all the feels right here, and I feel like it goes like with my nails. It's just so pretty. But probably end up keeping this. I don't know. I like to take things like this and store things in them. This is a box I'm going to keep. Back to what you guys are actually here for, the Amrezy palette. This launches tomorrow. So what I wanted to do was go ahead and get 3 eye looks out for you guys, test out the shades. I'm also going to be doing quite a few comparisons. I picked up several of the palettes and I swatched them side by side so you could see the similarities and the differences in palettes that I'm seeing a lot online of people comparing it to. That way you can decide for yourself if you want to pick this up. I'm going to get into the details and swatches, and then we will get into the 3 eye looks. In the PR package, I got this little card right here. My daughter was like, "Is that a Barbie?" I'm like, "No, she's just that perfect." She's like, "Oh, it's just a model." I was like, "No, that's Amrezy." She had no idea who she was. Unlike the rest of the world, we all know who Amrezy is, and this is just a beautiful look. But I thought it was hilarious that my daughter thought that it was Barbie. Anywho, getting into the packaging, you have this like slightly darker than pastel pink with Amrezy written across the front of it. This, you can feel the glitter of it, but I'm not getting anything like on my fingers or anything falling off. So if that's a concern for you, I don't think you have to worry about it, but you can actually feel the texture of this just a little bit. And then the inside. Yes, I've already dropped my brush. I have no idea where it's at. You are getting a mirror, and then these are the shades that we have. Along with the mattes and the metallics, we have a new formula in here, which is the pressed glitter. These 2 shades right here. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the swatches of everything. The first shade is Wasted, described as a satin ballet pink. Barb, metallic lilac with golden lime shift. Liddy, gilded copper with lavender sparkles. This is a pressed glitter. Cupcake, metallic lavender, pressed pigment. Dragon, metallic golden copper. Leo, metallic turquoise blue. Gemini, antique gold with silver sparkles, pressed glitter. Georgina, metallic taupe bronze. Reezy, metallic candy pink, pressed pigment. Anastasia, metallic peachy pink with a gold shift. New Yorker, matte rich caramel. OG, matte neutral chocolate brown. Sesma, matte red plum pressed pigment. 1988, matte chestnut brown. BK, matte black. Hugo, matte rich plum pressed pigment. Liddy, Cupcake, Gemini, Reezy, Semza, and Hugo are not intended for around the immediate eye area. Those are the shades that I marked with a star. If I don't mention it, I always get asked this question, so I just want to put this out there. Pressed pigments and glitters are never considered to be eye safe. A lot of the times people will think, oh, it's an eyeshadow palette, but in reality, they are not actually calling this an eyeshadow palette. Like on the back of it, it says eyeshadows and pressed pigment. So they have to give you that warning. Obviously, glitter can have an effect on your eye. You can scratch your eye, you can have irritation, things along those lines. And then the same thing with pressed pigments. They can cause staining and you can have an irritation with those as well. So they just have to mark those so that you are aware of it. I never personally have any issues, but it's something that some people do have, and some people don't like to have glitters on their eyes. So just keep that in mind that there are 2 of them in here. So not too many, but there are 2. Again, this palette comes out tomorrow. It is a limited edition and it retails for $49. Now, I wanted to get on the Anastasia site and tell you what Amrezy's inspiration is. It reads, "I wanted to make a palette that had every shade you would need for any mood, any occasion. It comes with everyday neutrals, your pinks for when you're feeling flirty, and your smoky shades to kick things up a notch. This one palette is my go-to for creating any look I can dream up." I'm going to show you guys the 3 different tutorials where I'm trying out the shades, and then I will give you guys my opinion on the palette as well as the comparisons right after. finish off the eye look, Milk Boss liner on the inner rim, Rimmel liner up top, and then Kiss Ritzy lashes. Thoughts on the palette. Packaging is beautiful. It's so Amrezy. I just think it's beautiful. She's so glam, and I love that she is like, she dabbles in everything. Like one day she can be super edgy, and another day she can like this. She can look like a Barbie. It's just beautiful, and she's absolute utter perfection. Like I'm pretty sure she doesn't have a flaw on her face. Anyway, back to the palette. I was a little concerned about some shades in here when I was doing the swatches last night. I was swatching these down here. Like this top row was just easy peasy. Oh my gosh, all these shades worked so well. And then most of these down here did as well, but I was getting into Sesma, BK, and Hugo, and those felt slightly drier, and I was having to build up the swatch a little bit, so I was a little concerned as to what it was going to do on my eyes. Luckily though, everything worked out really well. This shade right here was one that I had to work with when I was doing the swatch, Sesma. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but this, oh my gosh, there was so much pigment. I actually had to take my brush during my tutorial, wipe some of it off of my brush, and blend out the edges because I was like, this is so pigmented, which is really, really great. So everything in here worked out really nicely. That's proof in the pudding that sometimes swatches, and when you swatch something in store, you swatch it across your hand, I'm like, this doesn't look right. You really can't go by the swatches. The only reason I still do swatches is because I feel like you can really see the colors. So that's really, I never rely on a swatch to determine whether or not a palette is good. You have to try it. So everything in here works beautifully. The glitter adheres so nicely. I had no issues with it adhering at all. I used the Anastasia primer like I always do. I did not set my eye. I had no glitter glue, nothing like that, and I didn't even have to use my finger. It was applying well with the brush. If you didn't have nails, using your finger would be a great way to apply it. And if you really are worried about, this falling on your, like the glitters falling on your face or in your eye, anything like that, glitter glue will help with that as well. Anastasia Beverly Hills has the best glitter adhesive in my personal opinion. I will link it down below. I love that stuff. I think this is gorgeous. My favorite shade, this one right here, Barb. It is so, so pretty. I played with this a little bit last night, and when you take this shade and you put it with whatever shade that you pair it with, if I had paired it with pink, this would have come out a little bit more pink because of the duochrome and all the different shifts of color in it. It just changes with whatever you put it with. And I thought, I'm going to put it with blue today. And I just think it is so pretty. This shade is super special. I love the purple. The blue is stunning. All of the metallics are amazing. The only complaint that I can really say is that we've seen these shades down here 1,000,001 times, but I give a little bit of a pass whenever it is a collaboration, just because I feel like to not tell somebody that they can, do the shades that they want to do and what they actually grab for. I feel like if you're going to be authentically you, you're going to choose shades that you actually like. With that being said, do I want to see another collaboration with these shades in here? These shades right here? No. Let's not do that. I am, they've done so many palettes, and I'm a huge Anastasia fan, but I'm just kind of over these, so I would have liked to seen some tweaks. With that being said, I feel like this is a really well curated palette. I love the colors in here. There are definitely ones that are special. Obviously, the glitter shades that we haven't seen in palettes before. Barb, oh my gosh, I just can't get over it. And then this purple right here, and even these two down at the bottom, like the metallics, the gold and the bronze, are different than what we have seen previously. The blue and the pink you are going to see swatched several times in a lot of these palettes, but I just think that if you are looking at this palette just in of itself, it is beautiful. If you have all of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, do I think you need this? No. Do I think it's a good palette? Absolutely. And now I want to get into the comparisons. Because of this row right here, I immediately thought of the Modern Renaissance. Let me show you these side by side. And keep in mind when you're seeing these on camera, sometimes things can look like they're more similar than what they actually are. So all I did with every single one of these swatch comparisons is lay down the palette, look at the shades, kind of play with them on my fingers and see which ones are the closest, and then swatch them side by side. I didn't swatch anything that was not remotely the same. The first swatch picture is of Modern Renaissance up against the Amrezy, and I have put all the names of the Amrezy shades in a different color, and the other palettes are in white. Next up, I'm going to show you one of my favorites of the year of 2019. This is one of my favorite Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes anyway, the Jackie palette, another collaboration. Here they are side by side, and now here are the swatches. The one that I thought of the most when I looked at the Amrezy palette was definitely the Riviera palette. So here are the swatches for the Riviera up against Amrezy. The Norvina palette. I really thought this one's going to be more similar than what it actually is. And then next up we have the Alyssa Edwards palette. This one is definitely more like colorful than what the Amrezy is. And then last but not least, the Carly Bible palette. I hope those swatches were helpful for you guys. Final opinion on the palette. Again, I just have to say that, these shades down here, we've just seen a million times, with the palette in of itself performs really well. It's beautiful. I think that she did a great job. Will I use this? Absolutely. In this shade right here, if nothing else, this shade right here is just so gorgeous. But if you are a huge collector of the Anastasia palettes and you have all of those, do I necessarily think that you need this? No, but I do think that there are special shades in here. And if you're a huge fan of Amrezy, I think it's a beautiful thing. I've talked about this before, to show love and support to those that you really enjoy, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, or whatever. So I think that she did a good job. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did by giving it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.